Just waiting. Keep on waiting, keep on waiting. Here I am. I am live. Hello, hello, beautiful loved ones. How is everyone tonight? I had a nap. Looks like I just woke up from a nap. I did just wake up from a nap. Um, it's been an exhausting week. Oh, it's going to be mostly sunny, 24 degrees tomorrow. Ooh, and it's going to be the new moon solar eclipse. So I just wanted to come on, and I haven't been on for a couple days. And where have I been? Well, I've been working a couple hours here and there, not anything full time this week, but I've been getting back into kind of the swing of things of working a job. Uh, hiring's exhausting. Hiring is exhausting. It is where I have been looking for people for the store that I'm working at, that I'm managing. You know what I've been finding amazing? This is, hello, hello. Uh, One of the things I find amazing. Well, I've been phone calling. I don't like to call. Like that's ever it didn't matter. Like if I know you, fine. If I don't know this, I cold calling is not a it's always nerve-wracking when you're cold calling, right? It's one of those things that you just like, ooh, your worst kind of silliest fears come in. And the weird thing is, I can get up on a stage and start talking to people. Like boom, like throw me on a stage, I'm fine. Cold calling, I'm just like, ah, even though I'm the one who's kind of is in charge, right? I'm coming here to offer you something. Anyways, after calling a lot of people, a lot, and I mean a lot of people, left a lot of messages. And out of that, it's been maybe one or two people have called me back. Even after I've interviewed one girl and called to offer her the position, haven't heard hide nor hair of her. So, not too sure what's going on there. So, not much I can do. You can't go like I'm offering you something. I'm not going to, go chasing people down, right? So that's the thing I have. So now, and you would think in a market where there's supposed to be a lot of people, that there's very few. And some of the people did get a hold of, one of the biggest things was they couldn't speak English. That was a huge one. Working in a retail setting, you can have broken English, like you could, like as long as we can have a conversation kind of thing. But if you can't understand what I am saying, or I ask you questions on something and you're stumbling on trying to figure that out, and even though I reword it and followed all the HR prompts, and you still can't, this probably is not a job for you. You know, you want somebody who's able to have because you got to have a conversation with people, right? You got to be able to talk to people, say, hi, how are you? Welcome, come on in. And then, talk about what you're selling about, what it's all about, and, everything about it, right? So it's quite interesting. It is an interesting process. Exhausting. That's probably why and plus the energies is have been out of this world, basically, for energies. I mean, we've had the assassination with Charlie Kirk, and you've had people freaking and people praying, and then you've had, you know, um, interesting things coming out from either Candace Owen and, man, I could see Tucker Carlson is another one. Really interesting views, that they're saying, and fine, that's great. But I found it quite kind of interesting. Candace Owen, 6 million views on her live. Found that interesting. It just not that I don't think there weren't 6 million people. I believe there were, but I feel like there's such a she's engulfing these I don't know, there's just something there. I feel like there's people coming in, and what direction is this going to go into, kind of thing. The funeral's tomorrow, and Tucker's going to be talking. The president of the United States is going to be saying something, and a few others. So it's going to be it's, and especially on the eclipse, I think it's going to be where what's being said is going to be the biggest thing, right? I don't think anything crazy there is going to happen. I feel it's really of what's going to be said. And this eclipse is a turning point for everything. I said craziness is going to happen by the end of September. I said the fall is going to bring in a real ruckus, and the fall starts on Tuesday. And the ruckus is going to start as we head into October. So we have some real cray kind of energy that's coming in. And it's this new moon solar eclipse at 29 degrees, it's at what we call the anaretic degree. 29 degrees Virgo is a bitch. Just plainly said, it's a bitch. It's not, you know, 29 degrees on any sign is not, like, woohoo, great. When I see people with a lot of that energy, that means, and plus it's a world point, right? Anything at the end of a sign, it's a world point. So it encompasses everybody. It just doesn't encompass, personal, like yourself or community. This is a world energy. So what we're seeing with this, and it's the second Virgo new moon, which is really crazy in itself too, right? So we got the second Virgo new moon of the season. And the thing is, it's about reputation, karmic cleanup. It's about unsolved messes. All of that's going to come in. And where it's going to be visible is in Antarctica, which is interesting, and New Zealand. So, but energetically, globally, we're going to be experiencing this vibration coming through. We have a cosmic crossroads that's coming in with this too. So Pluto is going to be intercepted in Aquarius, forming this massive, what we call a kite in the sky. So with the Saturn Neptune opposition, we have Mars at 29 degrees Libra and squaring over to Pluto. It's volatile shift just as Mars ingresses into Scorpio 12 hours after the eclipse. This is where Mercury in Libra, Venus is in Virgo. It's kind of like a fresh air because those guys can kind of, even though they're in places they don't like, they're also in a place where they can say, hey, we could change places, it gets us caught, but it also gets us caught up in a quincunx, where, with this outer planet. So there's a quantum fate that comes in. The squares and the inconjuncts weaving destiny threads that we can't control. So there's a lot of energy that's going to come in, a lot of things that are going on that we cannot control. There are things that, I feel many people here, because of what's going on, live in a bubble. They have no idea what's happening over in Europe right now. They have no idea of the things that are going on, or the media cutoff that's happening over in different countries right now over in Europe and the Middle East. This is where it's like the bubble's going to start to pop. This is where, with the Virgo eclipse, the grind analysis, there's restlessness. This is where Mars in the opposition to Chiron, pain points, things that you might be experiencing over this, like you might be experiencing them this week, tonight, tomorrow, or beginning of next week, is disruption of sleep, inflammation, and pain points. The inflammation and irritability, yeah, I've been really feeling that, especially the inflammation and the pain points. I feel like a lot within my body has been feeling a lot more painful. Like it's just been crazy. Even though I've been really trying my darn like to do the stretches I need to do for my body. See, I just do my little thingies. But I've had a lot of inflammation. Venus squaring over to Uranus. This hasn't happened since 1940 with the Virgo to Gemini. I mean, with the Venus squaring over to Uranus, Venus in Virgo, and then Uranus in Gemini. It's instability, the instability in love. So this like really don't start a new relationship right now. It's with money values. We just saw with the Fed in the United States lower the interest rate by half a point. We saw interest rates decrease here in Canada by half a point, and people are like, "Yay, yay!" No, it's. I mean, they just stated also about the housing market and the destabilization of the housing market. So we're going to start seeing things destabilizing. Things aren't going to be stable. So even though that there's a lot of housing, a lot of booming, you think all these housing complexes are going up, but people are going to be finding that they won't have the money. When you're looking at a detached half duplex, a detached half duplex, um, so that's basically a fill-in going for $1.3 million. Uh, you're going to find like, well, where are people getting the $1.3 million? What kind of mortgage are you carrying? Like a $4,000 to $5,000 a month mortgage? Like, can you imagine? Like, I can't. Like, God, I cannot. Um, that's a lot. So that pressure is starting to come in, and that stresses are starting to come in, right? So the instability with money and values, it's the values, and this is where also where people are going to start speaking out now, speaking out in ways where many in the past people say, oh, I can't say anything because I don't want to lose my job and my house, and I got a family and a wife and all of this that I have to. But it's coming to a point with this energy that's coming in. It's where you heard in the 1940s where, well, I had to because that was my job, or that was the law, or I was forced to do this. This is where people are starting, and you saw that with last week with with the UK. Now it's people are jumping over the fence. People are fed up. You've had close to 2 to 3 million people at that rally by Tommy. Tommy organized it, and I had all these speakers in. To see it, and many people at first, well, maybe I don't know if we should go. I'm afraid. Many who went, a majority that went, said it was very peaceful, loving. It was great. But people are fed up. People are fed up with how things are run. They're fed up with the government. They're fed up with who is what's being said and the lies that are being spewed, the bureaucracy. And so the line is being, basically starting to be drawn. And with Charlie being assassinated, it really made that line go very thick, because that was something that hit people all over the world, like not only in the United States, but in Canada, in Europe, and in many other places around the world. It really hit them, right? For that to happen. It was kind of like the JFK assassination. It really hit people. And we're also in a lineup where the MLK, Martin Luther King assassination happened as well. So we have this Civil War parallels that are coming on. And the equinox sun, which is going to be opposite Neptune, is echoing September 1861, when denial ended and the war escalated. So this is where the echoes of time are really coming in. We have that eclipse. That eclipse is on two. It's not a normal eclipse, right? It's not a normal eclipse, or it's not a normal equinox either. This is where, we're going to see more civil unrest and social fractures. This is where the 2006 eclipse, at the same degree, patterns repeat, unfinished business resurfaces. And in 2006, this is where you heard about the housing crisis and all everything to do with the banking system.